Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Deliberately Intentional with me, your hostess, Remy Fagbon. So today's topic is going to be dressing according to where you're going. And you'll understand once I give you the dynamics behind this topic. So someone called me yesterday. Is it yesterday? 2 days ago. And she was asking me my thoughts on who should you dress for. A bunch of girls were going to an event and they were all planning on dressing to the nines and what have you. And one person had said, this person that we're going to her event is really more chill. We should tone it down. Everyone got on her butt, saying that, no, you don't need to dress for her. We don't care if she can't dress for the moment. That's her problem. I actually disagree. I do not think that you should, I think that you should dress according to who is celebrating, one, and the environment that you're going to be in. And let me explain. Even in my household, that's what we do. If I'm getting dressed to go to a client's event, I would never, I repeat, never overdress my clients. I can't. I will dress down to a client's event. And there's the reason why. Why would I want to make myself look better than my client? Like, how? And so maybe because I've been doing it for so long, it's something that comes to me naturally, but I dress according to which of my friends that I'm going for. I have some friends that are like uber fabulous. Okay, for those ones, yeah, knock it out the park because they actually expect me to come correct. But if I have some conservative friends, I dress conservative. I've got all the things in my closet. So why am I not thinking of these various people? Now, I actually have a real life situation that actually happened when my son was about not five, maybe he was about 7. So I had a client meeting. He was going to public school. So let me give you the dynamics behind it. He was in public school. And if you know anything about public school, most of the parents out there are very chill. Some will come in their pajamas, or, sweats, nothing major. But I had a client meeting immediately after. Now, if I'm going for a client meeting, I'm dressed to the nines because you're coming as a stylist. They're expecting you to come as a stylist. Big difference. It's coming to meet someone for the first time. You have to make an impression. And here's why that's important. Before you open your mouth, people have decided what you are just based on how you look. So what kind of impression do you want them to have? A good one or a bad one? If you're coming as a stylist, they need to look you up and down and see whether do I want to work with this person or not. Simple. Now, in school, on the other hand, where everyone's wearing pajamas and flip-flops and I'm coming decked to the nines, full makeup on, I'm telling you, not a single person said hello. Not one. People that I see on a regular basis, these are not new people. Nobody said a word. And I looked at them like, oh, hi. They just looked like I wasn't there. They totally blanked me. But after honestly, I was too busy to even bother thinking about it then because I literally wanted to drop my son off. I was saying the quick hellos and I noticed nobody answered, but I just kept going. And then the following day, I think I saw something like, yeah, I saw you yesterday. I almost didn't recognize you. I'm like, yeah, I was going to a meeting. They're like, yeah, but I didn't want to come near you because I still had throw up on my shirt from my kid. And I didn't want to stand beside you because I'm like, and I got it then that, sometimes the way you dress can be very off-putting to some people. We come back to this intentionality. So if your dressing can actually draw people in, it can push some people off, which one do you want it to be? I prefer to allow people to come to me. Don't make it so hard for people to talk to you. Don't make it so hard for people to relate to you. And definitely don't make somebody else's event your event. You'll have your own party. Knock it out the park at your own party. Knock it out the park at a gala. Knock it out the park. There's a ton of things. And I have a ton of things going on. So for me, if I'm going to a conservative event, I think I actually had a birthday party this weekend. I took something old from my closet. I was not going to pick out something. I definitely wasn't going to do shiny at somebody else's party unless that person is extra and I know she's extra, then I'm like, okay, she's expecting me to come correct. If I throw a party, I would literally give a cash gift for the best dressed person. I want you to knock it out the park. That's just my personality. But it's not the same for everybody. And so when you go to a party and you're not thinking about the other person, we come back into a whole nother topic because everybody wants to do their own thing. And then everybody now they're concerned about, why is it that I don't have any friends? Because you don't read the room, because you don't read the situation. You're not intentional about making sure that, you know what, it's not about you. You know how you find some bridesmaids that are like, oh, it's not my color, it's not my physique. It's not about you. The minute you agree to be somebody's bridesmaid, you've given away all your control, because it's not about you. If you know you can't conform to what the bride wants, you shouldn't be a bridesmaid, because it's not about you. It's her day. You're the support cast. You're not the main actress. It's somebody else's gig. You need to be supportive. A lot of people don't get this. And then they wonder why they have no friends, or why their friends are ghosting them, or why it just seems like they're not getting along with people. These little things are really, really important. To be a good friend to someone, you have to also be intentional about knowing when to be a support and knowing when you are the main character, because we're both. I have been both. I'm multiple things in different times, and I'm intentional about it too. When I'm going to support my son, I dress down. I'm in his t-shirt from his school. I'm keeping it as simple as I can, because I'm not really there. That's not my event. It's my son's event. And I'm literally just there to support him. So that's why you'll find that we always have a lot of college gear. I've always had it from his elementary school. For each of the schools that he ever been in, I got their t-shirts. So I'm not wearing anything designer to any of those places. Not at all. Maybe a denim jacket, but I have to. But the point is, it's not about me. It's really not. You have to know that at different points, there are times that you're going to be there supporting your husband. So I let them pick. If I'm going to an event for Charles and it's something that I can wear something, I let him choose. Like, what do you want me to wear? All the clothes are in my closet. So it's not like I hate any of it. I love all of it, or I wouldn't have bought it. So what do you want me to wear? My personal style is very flamboyant. My son's style is a little bit more conservative. Don't ask me where he got it from, but it's his style. And I leave him alone, because that's just who he is. It's constantly evolving, but, he has his little moments here and there. But the point is, I let him decide, because I don't want him to be uncomfortable or embarrassed. And I wouldn't really say embarrassed, but yeah, comfortable is a key. I wouldn't want him to be uncomfortable about something I'm wearing because it's my personal style, but I've got plenty other times to wear it. Same thing with my husband. What do you want me to wear? I'm coming to your event. So what do you want? Which of the many things do you want me to wear? He's usually borderline on the sexy side. So I'm like, really? This is what you want me to wear? But even though that's what he wants, I'm like, yeah. I sometimes have to give some feedback, like, yeah, for this event that you want me to go, I think we should kind of keep it a little conservative. You and I going out, different story. But it's kind of important. It's also another way to connect with your entire family. If you're able to do that, you'll be surprised that, all of these things come together more cohesively. And if I'm allowing them to give input on my outfit, then I'm also doing the same with theirs. So they'll come to me now and be like, okay, so we're going to your event. Mom, what do you want me to wear? My husband will do the same thing. Okay, so what do you want me to wear? And that's kind of how you keep your family intentionally connected. There was another story on this image and how your looks make a difference. Not my first job, but one of my earliest jobs was as an executive assistant. And so off of Standard & Poor's, off of Wall Street. So yeah, I was super excited about that job. Again, I've always had this thing about image and how you had to look right. So I remember the suit specifically because it was a pinstripe J. Crew suit. And I wore it with a pink pinstripe shirt. I think it had what was it, satin silk? One of those mixes. But the point is, I combined that and I know I looked sharp. I'm very particular about clothes. My mom was very particular about clothes, so I get it from her. But putting that into perspective, I got that job. I remember later on, and this was there were two hiring individuals, and it was between me and someone else. I had gotten to the last leg, and they were like, both people are really strong. Who are you going with? They're like, well, I kind of liked the way she looked. And it was a woman, so don't think that it was a man. But I liked her suit. She looked like, everyone has an idea of who they would want to support them. Everyone has an idea of who they want to represent them. Who do you want in your front office? Who do you want speaking on your behalf? Do you want the person that's not carrying themselves the right way? Or do you want someone that has packaged themselves appropriately and looks like it would be a very good representation of you? Whether we like it or not, even in the corporate world, most especially in the corporate world, a lot of people wonder why they've not moved up. Most of the time you haven't moved up because you are not dressing according to where you want to be. Some people are dressing in a way that does not denote or show growth. I don't think you're, and you'll hear people say things like, I don't think that you're the right fit. Guess what? The right fit is sometimes it's how you're dressing, sometimes it's how you're speaking, sometimes it's how you're carrying yourself. Yes, the whole world is telling you, oh, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. And yes, you should know where you should be yourself. It's very intentional, but I know where I can let it all hang loose. And I also know where I need to carry myself a certain way. It is very important. I won't go to my village in designer wear. No, I'm going to my village. When I am going to the village, I am tying a wrapper and I'm wearing my flip-flops and I am good to go. But I also know that if I'm going to the Gucci store and I know that I'm trying to do business, I need to dress appropriately. I'm not going to wear that same wrapper and whatever and go to Gucci and expect to be treated the right way. So how you present yourself makes a huge difference. How you present yourself to your friends, to your family, to your children's school, to your husband's work, all of it matters. Another thing that happens a lot that people don't pay too much attention to is growth. You're going to, when you met your spouse, for example, let's say you met in high school, please know that somewhere along the line, you've got to change. One of you is going to grow. Ideally speaking, I would hope that it's both of you growing together. But you know what happens a lot of the time? They don't grow together. One person grows and soars, and let's say, oh, after about 20 years, that person becomes a CEO. The other person still, maybe their person ended with most times it happens to the women and the women may end up being stay-at-home moms. You can still be a stay-at-home mom and still pay attention to what's going on around you. Paying attention to the fact that your husband is no longer in high school and he's now mixing with people that are all over the world. And he's seeing all of these beautiful people, beautiful women, corporate types. A lot. He's seeing everything. And you're saying that he should still be content with what's at home. What's at home needs to also step it up, because if you're stepping up, then there's nothing that's going to take his attention or anything away. And I know this is a controversial topic because everybody feels like, oh, you know what, I should not have to change, but you do. You need to grow. I do not dress the same way I dressed 10 years ago. Sometimes I don't even dress the same way I dressed 5 years ago, because as I'm growing, my husband is growing and I'm growing, and so is my son. So back in the day when I could say, yeah, maybe I used to wear booty shorts and what have you, I think I got rid of a lot of stuff when I realized I was going to become a mom, because I did not want to be that mom that was wearing Daisy Dukes and a bra top. I did that when I was a single person, and that's kind of how I got my husband, but that has to change. You've got to evolve. It's super important to your evolution as a couple, as a family, and in life. Anyways, of course, you know that fashion is my background and I've been very intentional with it all throughout my life. And so it kind of comes into everything I do. Whether you like it or not, even within the home, your children respond to you better the better you're put together. I think that my son specifically has got this view on how women should look, because he says, oh, Mom, you're always so elegant. I always have to remind him, like, dude, I wasn't like this elegant when I was a teenager. I was actually a hot mess. And he's like, yeah, but to him, he's never seen a hot mess, so he does not know what that is. All he knows is that he likes the way his mom dresses, and he responds better. Even my husband responds better when I have my cornrows in and when I'm all dolled up. There's a difference. So even if, whether you like it or not, your family will respond to you differently the better you put yourself together. And it goes both for the men and the women, and also for the kids. What they see us do is what they end up doing. I love when I hear my son say, yeah, I liked what Dad had on the other day. I want that. I think that fills my heart with such warmth when he says, yeah, there's something in Dad's closet I want. I never had anything that my mom, okay, no, let me take that back. I liked my mom's shoes, but by the time I could wear them, she was gone. So there was nothing for me to pull from. But I love the fact that my son thinks his dad is cool. I've always wanted that, and I created that life that we have, whereby, you know what, my dad is cool, my mom is cool, we are those parents. Because like it or not, if you had to go outside and looking for cool parents, then that's kind of how your kids get caught up in things that they shouldn't be caught up in. I know it comes back to the same look situation, right? But yeah, the looks are important. What's inside is also important, but you are able to influence the inside by what's on the outside. I know, sounds weird, but it can be done. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Deliberately Intentional. Remember, new episodes come out every Wednesday. Thanks, guys. And thanks, super producer Marv.